Faces of Abortion is the only television program of its kind that shows the powerful, real-life stories of women, men, and families who have suffered the devastation of abortion. Faces of Abortion touches hearts and changes lives in over 125 nations. Faces of Abortion is a program that will help you with healing from the heart and hope for the future. You will be given practical steps for healing in your life and help to end the suffering of abortion.
So it just overwhelmed me. And I thought the only way to escape the pain was to take my life.
I had a fear that I wouldn't be able to have my own children.
It brings heartache. It brings hurt.
And I knew they were tearing my baby apart.
I remember the cold feeling of the room.
I remember laying there and I just said to myself that I will never forgive myself for what I'm doing.
I believe that my life was spared that night just so that I could be here right now and say abortion hurts women.
Welcome to Faces of Abortion. I'm your host, Cindy Collins, and I'm with Alan Parker, who is president of the Justice Foundation, and our co-host, and Clayton Trotter, who is general counsel of the Justice Foundation. Alan and Clayton, I know that we have a great show today with Dr. Freda Bush and also Bernadette from In Her Own Words.
I'm really excited about what both women are going to share, both from the practical experience of having an abortion and the doctor's perspective on the whole issue of medicine and abortion and what that means for America.
It's going to be a very interesting show, and we want our viewers now to listen to Bernadette's story in her own words.
Hello, I'm Bernadette Roy from Plainfield, Indiana. I was born into a large Catholic family. I was 4 of 8 children. I got to go to parochial grade school, and freshman year I went away to a school, an aspirancy to a convent school. I came back home after a year and went to a Catholic high school, graduated in 1970. After graduation, I married my high school sweetheart. Well, it was kind of forced. I was pregnant. The marriage wasn't a good marriage, but I did have 2 beautiful sons from that marriage. 7 years after our marriage, I was divorced, 2 children, no support from the father, and I left the Catholic Church. I worked 2 jobs, mostly full-time. My children were latchkey kids. I dated men on and off, but not attached to any of them, till one day I met a really nice man. He had a little boy. I really liked him a lot. We got involved, and then I got pregnant. I went to him and told him that I was pregnant, and he told me, well, whatever I decided. I'm single, 2 children to support, low income, so I went to Planned Parenthood for the pregnancy test. I was making my decision on what to do, and I started having extreme pains on my right side, so much so that I lost several days of work. So naturally, I went back to Planned Parenthood. I saw the nurse practitioner. She made an appointment with the doctor. After the visit with the doctor, he sat me down and told me that there was a cyst on my right ovary about the size of a grapefruit. Said that he couldn't operate on it because I was pregnant. And then he went and told me that the baby probably wouldn't be full term. I had a 50-50 chance if I quit work and was bedfast. Well, that wasn't much of an option for me. I made that decision to have the abortion. I didn't ask any family members. I didn't get a second opinion from another doctor. I did it. I think part of me died that day, not just my baby, because I buried it so deep that I can't tell you to this day exactly how long ago it was, what season of the year it is, or where I had it done. I went about my life afterwards. The relationship with this wonderful man dissolved. I walked away. I couldn't look at him without thinking about the abortion. I went on with my life, and then something happened. My former father-in-law, he helped me come back to the Catholic Church. I was in full communion then with the Catholic Church. I went to confession. I could receive the Eucharist. I even got an annulment. I wasn't planning on getting married at all anymore. I didn't want to go through any kind of more pain. And then I met my husband. We were married in the Catholic Church. My former father-in-law and mother-in-law came to the wedding. It was a very joyous event. I thought I should be really happy, but there was the abortion issue, the nightmares, the feeling of depression. I went to a lot of counselors, but nothing would help. And then one day, a lady came to my church, and she stood in front of the congregation, and she told of her story. Well, I picked up a brochure, stuck it in my purse quietly. You see, I was on a lot of pro-life committees at my church, but no one knew about me. Matter of fact, I went out to dinner with 5 women of my parish, and we were all enjoying dinner, and then we went for coffee and desserts. As we were sitting there, one of the ladies started crying, and she looked up and said, "I've had an abortion." Well, I reached across the table, and I said I had one too. I didn't realize I was going to have a coming out party at Denny's restaurant in Greenwood, Indiana, but I did. I went through a program, a 10-week program, and then I became involved with Rachel's Vineyard retreats. I'm so happy that these retreats help men and women. If I could tell you one thing, I'll tell you this. I thought my sin was greater than God. And through the retreats and through healing, I found that nothing is greater than God. And I am so thankful to be able to tell you this. And I hope that if you're in trouble, please call, get help. Thank you.
You've just heard Bernadette's story and how abortion affected her, how her journey took her back to a road to healing and also brought her back to the Lord and her relationship and some of those things that she thought she might not even experience again of marriage, and how the Lord